Hey, what's going on? I'm Jack, and this is Log Cabin Firewood. Today on the channel, the shed behind me, the one that's been falling apart, is finally gonna start getting dismantled today. And we also have this maple tree right here. He's got some limbs on it that we need to take out because we got new stuff coming to the cabin. Stick around. As you know, the shed here has been falling apart. The fascia, the soffit, the roof, and really the only thing we've had this thing for was to keep the mower in. But the shed was like this when we bought the house, 11 years ago. They sat it in the mud, so water has gotten to it, and it's just never really been taken care of. But we made a big purchase the other day, and there's going to be a new shed going over here. There's some limbs on this tree here, and I've got a widowmaker up in here I need to try and get rid of. So we're going to try and get that out of there, and I'm going to trim some of these branches, and you're coming along with me. You can watch me. I don't know about you, but in 2020 when everything hit the fan and they told us we had to stay inside and we couldn't go do much, I retreated to the woods a lot, backpacking, hiking, bushcrafting. I picked up a couple cool things then. We have the Fiskars little power tooth saw. It locks in place. It's got a super aggressive tooth pattern on it. Perfect to fold up. It locks. It won't open back up unless you push the button, but perfect backpacking saw. But then, because I watch a lot of YouTube, these things are even cooler. This is Agawa Canyon, the Boreal 21. So this thing completely folds up into a nice little convenient package. And then it simply folds right back out and locks into place here. And then you've got a little bow saw that you can put in your backpack. This is what we're going to use today instead of a chainsaw on a ladder, because we all know that's not safe. Sorry, Joe. Warning, the stunts you are about to see are performed entirely by professionals. Please do not attempt anything you see in my videos. Viewer discretion advised. So a couple of these branches, I'm just gonna use my lobbers and lob them off, if I can. That way I don't have too much up in the tree here. Now, I don't recommend getting on a ladder and doing this stuff. Do what you're capable of doing. Don't get hurt. So I've got to get these two out right here. That one and that one. And they are pretty big branches. I mean, not very big, they just reach out a good bit. I don't recommend anybody try this at home. Getting on ladders and using tools to take limbs down is very dangerous. I probably shouldn't be doing it, but we got to get this done. This is definitely the hard way of doing this. But at least while I'm up here, I can, once this one's down and the one out front's down, I can get a rope up in this piece that broke off when we dropped another tree here. We hit the top of this tree and broke it out. At least we'll be able to get that off. Clean up our work area a little bit here. Because I'm going to have to move the ladder. And we'll end up burning this brush. I know my allergies have been going nuts the past week and a half. And today is actually Labor Day. We are laboring on Labor Day. Imagine that. As I'm sure everybody else that watches these channels is doing the same thing. You know, it's a free day off work. We're getting paid to take care of the chores that we neglect all year long, or all summer anyway. But our pig roast went well yesterday. Had a lot of fun. Got to see a bunch of people from work. It was my work family that threw this pig roast. It was, you know, always fun hanging out with co-workers outside of work. So there's 2 leads on this one here. I'm gonna try and go up about like right here and take this one off first, and then we'll move the ladder and get the big one out. Just trying to take some weight off of these so it's not crashing down on my ladder and making me crash down. We don't need that. At least I got something to hang on to here. This green maple doesn't want to break. There we go. Miss Taryn's in the front yard playing with the dog. She gives me thumbs up. So I must be doing all right. All right, so let's put a little undercut here. That way it doesn't rip on me like the last one did. Probably gonna go up a rung and go to town on this one. All right, now we have to switch our ladder around so we can get up and get this one. And this is a big old piece here. It's gonna take me a little bit to get through this one by hand, but we'll get it. We got nothing but time. Paid holiday. As long as we don't get hurt, it'll all be worth it. So if you watched my short the other day, I used a rope winch, and it's just a simple rope winch. Nothing fancy. Rope goes in, comes out the other side. You attach the other end to a tree, and I happen to have just a cable choker that I use to hook the other end up. But we're going to use that to get this the limb that's hanging up there off. Hopefully it's dead enough now to where I can just put some tension on it and it'll break off. If not, I'll have to explore other options, I guess. But here we go. Let's try and get this down. For those of you that may be interested in this rope winch, after we see how it works, it is called the Mazdam. Let's see. It's the Mazdam Power Pull A100 3/4 ton capacity rope puller with 100 foot of 1/2 inch diameter rope. I've only used it once. I really like it. It's pretty cool. Comes with plenty of rope. If you got to put tension on something, you know, get it to pull one way and you're by yourself working in the woods and you don't want to use wedges or all that. And, you know, I'm not very experienced, so I like having a rope and things. It's helped me out. It's about 131 bucks on Amazon. A little steep, but yeah, you can never have too many tools. I wanted to try to get it over. At least over that one. Nope. Let's see here. This is not fun, guys. This is where I wish I had a bucket truck. But when you're into, there we go. Now let's see if I can feed it down on itself. Yeah, that's the problem I'm gonna have. It's gonna want to keep going down. Or I can just reach it. I don't know if I can reach that far without falling off the ladder. Oh, I need about another inch. Oh, got it. Thank you, God, for Stretch Armstrong arms. Now let's try that. So we put the choker cable around this tree here. It's got an open hook on the one end. And that's what we'll hook to the rope puller here. Rope goes in this way. Comes around. Rope comes in the hole. Goes down. Goes out the other side here. The underneath of it itself. That's it. And then it'll pull on itself. And I believe I can, yeah, I could sit here and, ooh, I'm hitting the camera. Probably have to move the camera real quick. But before we do that, I'm hooking this into the cable puller up, or the rope puller up to the cable. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. That worked out pretty good, actually. The branch came down. It's on the ground. Everything's still here. And you couldn't see me. I had the camera set up where you couldn't see me too, but I got some tension on it, and then I just simply started using body weight and shaking that rope, and I broke it out of the top. That goes to show that sometimes that cool tool that Tony talks about often, they are worth the little investment. You know, it's something I'll probably keep in my truck when we go in the woods. That way I always have a rope and a winch, or that winch counts as a second person. Now the fun part. All that stuff's cleaned up. Well, all that stuff's cut out of the tree. Now we have to start dragging this over to the fire pit so we can burn it. Did I get you, little girl? I'm sorry. we go. We're gonna start tearing apart the shed. And since I am a scrapper, anything that's metal on this thing is getting thrown into a bucket and will go to the scrapyard. When you spend thousands of dollars on things, you have to recoup your costs however you can. And I'll just start throwing metal in a bucket. A lot of this we're throwing right into the fire because it's rotten. Well, here we go. I had this camera set up on hyperlapse, but it got hot and turned off on me, and I was busy working and I didn't pay attention. It is about 97 degrees today, but I've got 1, 2, 3 more pieces of plywood to take down, and then I have the roof. The roof I will end up probably getting it on the ground, and then I'll take the shingles off and I'll put them in bags and dispose of them the right way. I'm not burning shingles. But so far we have been burning everything. And it's been going, up pretty quick. Throwing it on there, it probably takes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes for a 4-foot sheet of this plywood to, or whatever this is, T111 to burn up. But that's okay. It gives me time to keep knocking the rest of the stuff down. Now I just have to be careful that I don't knock these last 3 pieces of plywood off and then the roof comes down on me. Looks like the structure, most of the structure, like the studs are okay. None of the studs are rotted. There's a little bit of rot in the roof, but I should be okay. We'll put you back on time lapse and see if this works. Oh man, look what we found, guys. It's an anaconda cobra. These are super rare in Maryland. Now, actually, this is Jake. This is Jake the snake. He is a 21-year-old ball python from I don't know where, but he lives in my house. We're just out here taking him for a walk. But yeah, he's a good boy. He's been part of the family for a while now. But yeah, I just want to introduce you to Jake and kind of psych you out saying that I found a snake in the shed. This is 2 days later. The day that I was recording the last time when the roof came down, the camera kept overheating. Man, I'm sweating bullets. The camera kept overheating, so I just stopped recording, but I got all of the walls down. The roof is disassembled. The shingles are in bags to be disposed of properly. I've just been throwing stuff in the fire pit and burning it up piece by piece. There's still a pile of 2x4s here. Some of these I'm going to pick through, and I can save some of them for my bracing on my pallets when I stack up my cords. All the trusses are over here. There's a pile of stuff back here I'm still going to go through. These trusses could be cut down, like the ends where they're rotten. I could cut them off. This could go for another roadside stand. I don't know. We may burn the trusses. Who knows? I'll set you up on some time lapse. Let's get this floor ripped up and get it burned. Whew. I'm covered. It's a little bit moist out here today. The shed is gone. There's a couple pieces of 4x4 in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4x4s. I got the trusses and whatever long 2x4s we had. Most of the studs. This is what I've got left of the sheathing on the floor to burn. We've got a nice fire going. I tell you what, this plywood and all this super dry wood has destroyed my fire pit. Like, my rocks are just cracking left and right. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and checking out the upgrades that we're going to do at the cabin. Like I said, we have a new shed on order. We're going to prep a nice pad. We're using 6x6s with stone in the center of it as a level pad. That's going to be on the next video, hopefully, if not the next one. Sorry there was no firewood involved in this, but it is upgrades at Log Cabin Firewood. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you here next week, Saturday, 6:30 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe, guys. Get outside and sweat.